I chose to stay at Laville or be at Laville because I love the small feel, the small school feel, the close-knit community. When I was an undergrad, I worked in small school settings, and it was just a different feel. It's always just a close-knit camaraderie. And that is the reason why I love being at Laville, and I would choose Laville. My name is Nick Lieto. I am the director of bands here. I teach 6th grade band, that's beginning. I teach 7th and 8th grade bands, that's junior high band, high school band, jazz ensemble, applied music, and we'll be teaching one section of high school choir in the future. I'm in charge of the marching band. The Laville Royal Regiment is our band name. We are well known, getting well known in the community, in the marching band community. We perform at football games. We do a regular competition season that usually starts in mid-September and goes all the way to the first part of November, where we learn a competitive show and we tweak it and tweak it and tweak it in hopes for qualifying to participate in the ISSMA Marching Band State Finals in Lucas Oil. We've become close, but we're not there yet, but we're getting there. I am from the Lower East Side of Michigan. I'm from a little place called Maybe, Michigan, with 2 E's. Yes, I was involved in band in high school. I was a leader in high school. I was flute section leader. I was part of the jazz band in high school. I played the bari sax in jazz band. I was in French club in high school. I went to a larger high school. I graduated with about 550 other students. So I understand the big school experience as well. I decided that I wanted to become a professional musician and music educator when I was a sophomore in high school. Before that, I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to work for Disney and be an animator there, but found out very quickly that music was my passion. My whole family is musical, so I kind of grew up around it. But yeah, it was around my sophomore year in high school that I had decided, okay, I want to take this next step, and I want to become a music educator and have a program of my own one day. I had a really great middle school band director who really inspired me, and really going into from the jump from 8th to 9th grade, I was a little bit leery about continuing on and doing marching band and things like that in high school, but it ended up being something that I absolutely love. There were some things that I struggled with in my high school program as far as pride issues go from some other students, and it was difficult to endure. And I had figured that if I was enduring this, I knew that there was possibly other programs doing the same. And so my motivation to get out and be a director was to provide the experience of music and provide the experience of creating something with pride as a whole group, and really contributing to a school atmosphere. So that is what drove me to want to become a band director. I graduated from 2014 with my bachelor's from Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo. Go Broncos. Funny reason, I chose WMU because it was the rival school to Central Michigan, and my brother was a music major at Central. And I lived in my brother's shadow for a bit in high school, so I wanted to make and create my own path. So that was kind of a little side note. I also really loved the music department there. I had seen the marching band, and I was like, I have to do that. And I fell in love with it. And I went and visited the campus my senior year, and it was like, done deal. And I kind of put all my eggs in one basket, and that was like, I'm going to WMU, and I only auditioned at that music school. And I did get in, but I'm very thankful for my time at Western. Working with world-class conductors and people that are so good at rehearsing groups was one of the biggest pluses of being a part of symphonic band as well as the University Symphony Orchestra when I was at WMU. And it was a big honor to be a part of those groups because those are the highest performing groups at WMU. Now it is their wind symphony as they're under the direction of somebody else. But I sat under the baton of Robert Spradling, who was a dear conductor and marvelous mentor. I took my instrumental conducting lessons from him. So just working with, being as part of those groups have just, as an educator, it always helps to have a firm foundation. If you don't have a foundation in music, you can't be a good music educator. You can't be, because you won't be able to teach that. So that foundation of this is what good feels like and looks like, sounds like, or excellent feels like, sounds like, looks like, translates over to your own teaching then as a director. Music majors have it really tough because a lot of our credits are 4 credit hour class loads, but you only get 1 credit for it. And they do it that way because there's so many things you have to take. And if they gave it the actual credit load, then you would go beyond you can't take any more credits at this university. You've taken enough. So the workload is a lot, but you don't get as many credits for it. So, going through when I was in the marching band at WMU, it was a lot. You have 4 a.m. stadium rehearsals on game days, and you're going all day long. But it is an experience to be a part of that I wouldn't trade for the world. We got to travel to U of M, MSU, my first year that I was in it. We went to Notre Dame my second year, and we got to march on those fields. And it was a really neat experience to be able to be a part of such a large group too, and a large group of people that really want to be there because they're paying for it, and they're paying for the credit. But it's not just that; it's the love of music and being a part of such a fun group. Like I said, I won't lie. It was a lot. Being a music major, you've got your lessons, you have theory, you have ear training and everything that you've got ensembles, you've got everything and then you've got your education classes that you've got to also juggle in that. And then you put Bronco Band on top of that, and it is a lot. But again, an experience I wouldn't trade for anything. Well, I taught 1 year in Nebraska before I got the job here at Laville. That was an experience. It was challenging, and we did it for a year. Danielle and I moved out to Nebraska after I graduated, and then we moved back because it was too far from family was the biggest cause. But I was just looking for a job, and it happened to be that I crossed paths with Laville, and it was just meant to be. I wanted a small program. I chose here because I wanted I start them and I graduate them. That's a really cool feeling to have, to see a kid go from a honker and squeaker in 6th grade all the way up to taking a group 1 solo to solo and ensemble when they're a senior. It's a really neat experience, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be in this position, because it offered me that opportunity. Yeah. When I got here, things were rough. It was definitely a rebuild. There was no marching band program. Did a parade here and there. There was, the students really didn't perform at the level that one would see, oh, that's a high school group, playing high school literature. It was more of a high school group that was playing middle school literature. So it was a little bit of a rebuild to get here and to really get kids, down the track of playing more challenging music and getting them motivated to want to do those things. But it has been a blessing and a joy to see just the progress and the growth that the kids have from year 1 to where we are now at this point. I am big on branding. Anything that is attached to the band program here has our logo on it, which is the Lancer with the music staff, and it wraps around. That's the band's logo. It's on our trailer, it's on our parade banner. Anything that we do, our letters that I send out to kids, that all has that on it. And I'm really big on branding because it gives kids something to latch on to. Like, that's mine. Like, I'm part of that. And it gets you, your face out in the community as well, and they see anything that's attached to that. So, creating a sense of belonging has been a big draw for kids to be a part of this program, because, and that was the vision. That was what can we do to make this a place where kids want to be? They want to succeed. They don't, essentially like the kids club on a Disney cruise. They don't want to leave. So, how can we incorporate all these aspects to, make that happen? And I feel like we're getting there. We are really getting to a place where, kids are always asking me, can I come, I want to be in the band room, can I, or, before they leave, do I have to, I want to stay here, and, so we like to create that welcoming environment. It has been a blessing and a joy to have Danielle be in the program teaching with me. We work very well together, and a lot of husbands and wives usually maybe think, I don't want to work with you because I can't. We are quite the opposite. It's very nice to have someone here that is so supportive and, wants the same, our visions align, and we want the same things for the kids in the program. And it works out well, too, because I'm a primarily woodwind. My principal instrument was flute, and Danielle is a primary brass, euphonium, and tuba. So it works out really nice that we have woodwind and brass to help teach the kids and divide the program a little bit that way. But it has just been, we have seen so much growth musically and so much growth in kids' just personality and leadership-wise, with Danielle and I both working together, to help them become the best that they can be. I've stuck with Laville because I simply cannot walk away from all of the progress that we have built. And there's so many things, we always say in here to leave it better than you found it. And we are not done yet. There are so many more things that I would like to do with the kids and have the kids experience. And I'm at a point in my career where I'm just not ready to make a change. My work here is not finished. And hopefully it won't be finished until I'm ready to retire. But that is, that's the main reason why I can't walk away from all the great things that we are doing and that have the potential to be, knowing that I could be a voice that could be a part of that and really, extend out about fine arts and how much I could help. I can still be here and still help, and not that other schools I couldn't do the same, but it's also hard to walk away from something that you've built, and that's your baby. Danielle and I both have put so much time into building this program and into what it is, and it's hard to walk away from that. And like I said, I'm just not ready to. And the kids are also a big factor. They're great kids. We have great kids here. Laville is a great place to be because there are so many people here that care for kids. We have a great staff. The students have exemplary opportunities. And the learning environments, if you walk into any of the rooms in this school at, any given time, you're going to find a bunch of passionate teachers just reaching kids right and left. And I think that's what it's about. It should be about the experience that we're providing for the kids. And I think that Laville does a great job with having teachers connect with students. And there are so many teachers in this building that I would want my own children to have. And I think when I look at what makes a school great, that's what I consider. Would I want my child to learn from these people? And the answer of Laville is absolutely 100% yes.